unyielding sentinel in the night sky, watching silently as centuries pass. Yet beneath its quiet surface lies a veil of unsettling mysteries. Ancient structures, unexplained signals, and cryptic astronaut accounts hint at a truth far darker than we've imagined. Why has humanity turned its back on it? What are we really afraid to find? Let's uncover the forbidden mysteries lurking in the moon's dark shadows. The moon, lifeless and still, seems to hold a secret far beyond its gleaming surface. Yet, as we peer deeper into the void, we start to see strange things such as anomalies in photographs taken during past lunar missions. These oddities are too precise, too unnatural to ignore. Take, for instance, the Shard, a towering, jagged formation that protrudes from the lunar surface like an ancient, broken monolith. Its sharp edges cast a long, eerie shadow across the barren landscape, and it appears too symmetrical, too perfectly shaped to be the result of natural erosion. Then there's the castle, an angular, fortress-like structure, seemingly untouched by time. It stands proud against the lunar backdrop, so angular and unnervingly pristine that it almost looks like it was constructed not by the hand of nature, but by an intelligent force. These anomalies have led some to suggest that the moon could be home to ancient alien structures. Could they be the remnants of an ancient civilization, one that once inhabited the moon? Or are they the remains of something far darker and more alien, hidden from our view by the very nature of the moon itself? The possibility that there are buildings, remnants of a lost world, or even entire bases hidden in plain sight is enough to send a chill down your spine. But the intrigue doesn't end with the images. The ancient myths and legends surrounding the moon add another layer of complexity. Throughout history, various cultures have spoken of the moon as if it were more than just a celestial body. The ancient Sumerians, for example, referred to the moon as a place of great importance, even suggesting that it was placed there by gods or extraterrestrial beings. The Mayans viewed the moon as a key to understanding the cosmos, linking it to the creation of life itself. These beliefs span across cultures and time periods, hinting at a shared understanding the moon may not be a natural object, but something far more intentional. Could it be possible that the moon was intentionally placed in Earth's orbit, not a mere cosmic accident but a deliberate act of creation? What if ancient civilizations knew something we don't, something hidden in the moon's very presence? Some theorists argue that the moon was not merely formed in the same way as other celestial bodies, but altered, perhaps by an advanced race, or even by extraterrestrials who left their mark upon it. The notion that the moon was engineered, modified, or even created for a specific purpose is unsettling, but it raises the possibility that its place in the sky is no accident. Then there's the most chilling theory of all, the hollow moon hypothesis. This hypothesis suggests that the moon isn't a solid rock orbiting our planet, but an artificial construct, a giant hollow shell, possibly containing hidden technology or dormant alien machinery. Some even claim that the moon could be a vessel, a colossal, ancient spacecraft placed in orbit to watch over Earth, perhaps even designed to serve a specific function that we've yet to understand. What if the moon wasn't always there? What if it was deliberately placed? And if so, why? Could its origins be far stranger, far darker than we could ever imagine? These theories, drawn from ancient beliefs and modern discoveries alike, suggest that the moon is more than just a passive satellite. It may have a purpose tied directly to humanity's past, or even its future. With each theory, the questions grow more disturbing. Is the moon watching us? And if so, what does it want? The Apollo missions were heralded as one of humanity's greatest achievements, but buried beneath the triumphant stories of astronauts walking on the moon's surface are unsettling accounts, cryptic statements, and bizarre occurrences that cast a shadow over the whole endeavor. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, two of the most famous astronauts to ever step onto the lunar surface, made comments that have fueled speculation for years. Armstrong, in particular, was famously tight-lipped about his experiences, offering little more than the standard scripted responses. But there were moments when words seemed to hint at something far stranger. During one radio transmission, Armstrong allegedly said, "There's something out there that's watching us," a seemingly innocent remark, but one that has sparked endless theories. Was he referring to the strange silence that enveloped the lunar surface? Or was there something else? Something not of this earth, lurking nearby, just beyond their sight? Buzz Aldrin, too, made cryptic comments that raised eyebrows. According to some reports, Aldrin was reluctant to talk about certain details of his time on the moon, going as far as to express discomfort when pressed for more information. One particularly eerie incident occurred when Aldrin and Armstrong were reportedly instructed to stay silent after allegedly observing strange objects during their mission. Did the astronauts witness something beyond their comprehension? Were they told to keep quiet to protect the public from the terrifying truth? But the unsettling accounts don't end with the astronauts themselves. Rumors have long circulated about lost transmissions during the Apollo missions. While public broadcasts were meticulously curated, there are claims that private conversations between astronauts and mission control were far more ominous. In these supposed transmissions, astronauts allegedly discussed encounters with unexplainable phenomena, strange objects in the distance that did not appear to be of human origin. These private transmissions, however, were never aired to the public. NASA's secrecy around these communications has fueled suspicions that something significant was being hidden. Even more disturbing are the stories of ham radio operators who, on several occasions, claimed to have intercepted strange, unrecognized messages during the Apollo missions. Some of these transmissions allegedly came from the astronauts themselves, speaking in code or referencing things that were not part of the official narrative. One such story involves a ham operator who claims to have heard astronauts mention a shadow following them on the moon. If these claims are true, it would suggest that the astronauts were not as isolated as we've been led to believe. Could they have encountered something that NASA didn't want the world to know? Or were they simply trying to protect humanity from a truth too horrifying to reveal? Then there's the issue of the photographs taken during the Apollo missions. Countless images from the lunar surface have been released to the public, but some conspiracy theorists argue that many of these photos have been tampered with. Rumors persist that NASA airbrushed or edited certain images to conceal the presence of structures, buildings, vehicles, or even evidence of alien activity visible in the background of the shots. These claims point to anomalies in the photos, like blurred areas or inconsistencies in lighting, which some believe were deliberate attempts to obscure something of great importance. If this is true, it would mean that the public has only seen a carefully crafted version of what the Apollo astronauts actually encountered. What could have been so important, so dangerous, that NASA would go to such lengths to hide it? What if the moon isn't just a passive bystander in human history, but an active participant? These astronaut accounts, the lost transmissions, and the altered evidence all suggest a troubling possibility. The moon may not simply be a cold, distant object. It could be intricately tied to the history of humanity, a key player in a far larger story than we've ever been told. And what if the astronauts, those brave explorers who dared to venture into its silent depths, were silenced for knowing too much? What if the truths they encountered on the moon were too terrifying for the world to ever understand? The moon has always held a peculiar silence, its dark side a mystery that remains largely unexplored. But what if that silence was merely a facade, hiding something far more sinister? Over the years, a series of unexplained phenomena have occurred. Mysterious lights, flashes, and radio bursts emanating from the moon. These strange signals, detected by astronomers and space agencies, have baffled scientists for decades. At times, the flashes appear like bursts of energy, intense enough to be seen from Earth's telescopes. Other times, they resemble a low-frequency hum, barely perceptible, but undeniably real. Despite various attempts to explain them, the origins of these lunar emissions remain elusive, and the possibility that they might not be natural is impossible to ignore. Adding to the mystery are the seismic anomalies, moonquakes, that have been recorded by lunar seismometers. These tremors, unlike any on Earth, have occurred deep within the moon's surface. Scientists initially attributed these quakes to the moon's geological activity, but many of the moonquakes are far too powerful and persistent to be the result of natural causes. Some were even recorded to have unusual frequencies, hinting at something far beyond the moon's expected geological behavior. Could the source of these seismic disturbances be an ancient force, hidden deep within the moon, or perhaps something else entirely? The absence of a definitive explanation leaves the possibility that something, or someone, has been causing these disturbances, actively shaking the foundations of the moon itself. There have also been theories suggesting that these strange signals and phenomena are not just random occurrences, but warnings. Some argue that the abrupt cancellation of the Apollo 18, 19, and 20 missions was not just due to technical or financial reasons, but because of direct warnings, either from extraterrestrials or something more sinister hidden on the moon. The sudden halt of these missions, after the initial success of Apollo 11 through 17, raises unsettling questions. What did the astronauts discover that was so terrifying? Why did the space agencies decide to abruptly end human exploration of the moon? Were they simply keeping us away from something too dangerous to uncover? Rumors persist that during the Apollo 17 mission, astronauts reported seeing strange, massive structures on the lunar surface, things that didn't belong. The idea that the missions were canceled to protect humanity from something more horrific, far beyond our understanding, is a chilling thought. The moon, after all, is a place where the signals we receive seem deliberately designed to keep us at bay. Is it merely a cosmic coincidence that we have not returned in over 50 years? Or is the moon, with its strange flashes and tremors, guarding something far worse, something humanity is not yet ready to face? What if these warnings weren't just meant to keep us away, but to protect us from a greater threat? The signals, the moonquakes, and the sudden halt of missions all point to the possibility that the moon is not just a silent observer of Earth. Instead, it could be guarding something hidden beneath its surface, a dangerous secret that humanity isn't prepared to confront. What if the moon's eerie quiet is just a veil, keeping us at a distance from an ancient force waiting to be unleashed? As unsettling as it may seem, the truth could be far more terrifying than we're willing to accept. For decades, there has been an unspoken truth that many refuse to acknowledge. The world's governments and space agencies may know more about the moon than they have ever let on. A theory that has gained traction in recent years suggests that these organizations, having long been aware of the moon's strange and hidden nature, are actively participating in a global cover-up. The moon, with its ancient anomalies, mysterious signals, and unexplained phenomena, holds secrets so profound that they could destabilize the very foundations of our society. But what if this knowledge has been suppressed deliberately? What if there are hidden forces working to keep us in the dark about the true nature of our celestial neighbor? Some claim that the cover-up goes even deeper, beyond mere government secrecy. Allegedly, secret treaties have been made between world leaders and extraterrestrial beings, agreements designed to ensure that the moon's mysteries remain concealed from the public. These treaties supposedly promise the exchange of technology or resources, but in return, humanity must be kept in ignorance. It's a chilling thought that the powerful entities who control the flow of information might be protecting not just us, but themselves, by keeping humanity away from the moon and its terrifying truths. If these claims are true, then the decision to limit our access to the moon wasn't based solely on scientific curiosity or exploration, but on the urgent need to prevent humanity from uncovering a truth that could shatter our understanding of reality. But why hasn't humanity returned to the moon? The Apollo missions, which once carried men to its surface with great fanfare, were halted abruptly, and since then, despite modern technology and advancements in space exploration, no humans have set foot on the moon for over half a century. The official reasons have always been framed around budget constraints, technological limitations, or the desire to focus on other missions. But what if there's another, more unsettling reason? What if returning to the moon could expose secrets so immense, so disruptive, that it would force the entire world to confront an undeniable reality, one that could unravel the very fabric of society? Modern missions like Artemis, which aim to return humans to the moon, are often presented as groundbreaking steps in space exploration. But could they be nothing more than a carefully orchestrated front? What if these missions are designed to only scratch the surface, to reinforce the illusion that we are merely revisiting the moon for scientific purposes? The true intentions behind these missions may be far darker than we realize. Could there be a deliberate effort to avoid uncovering what lies beneath the moon's surface? And if so, what are they hiding? What if the moon's secrets aren't just extraterrestrial, but intertwined with the very foundations of human history? If this theory holds weight, it suggests that the knowledge of our origins, the truth of where we came from, has been deliberately obscured for reasons that may go far beyond extraterrestrial interference. The hidden history of the moon might just be the key to understanding who we truly are, where we came from, and why the past has been veiled in secrecy. These conspiracies raise unsettling questions. Is humanity being protected from its own origins, or are we being kept in the dark to prevent us from discovering something that could alter the course of history forever? As we piece together the unsettling theories surrounding the moon, the alien structures, the strange signals, the cryptic warnings from astronauts, and the shadowy conspiracies, it begins to paint a chilling picture of a far more complex relationship between the moon and Earth than we've ever imagined. What if the moon is not just a lifeless rock in the sky, but something much more purposeful, far more ominous? Could it be an observation post, an ancient construct designed not just to watch humanity but to influence us? The idea of the moon as an observer, a silent watcher in the night sky, takes on a sinister tone when you consider the possibility that it was placed there deliberately, perhaps even engineered by an advanced civilization, extraterrestrial or otherwise. But what if its purpose isn't simply passive observation? What if it was designed as a failsafe, a kind of celestial reset button, programmed to engage only when humanity reaches a critical threshold? What if the moon's role is to monitor us, not only to keep an eye on our progress, but to intervene if we grow too powerful or chaotic? Consider the eerie signals, the unexplained tremors, and the sudden halts in exploration. What if they are not random occurrences, but part of an intricate system designed to trigger if humanity steps too far out of line? The moon could be far more than just a passive observer. It might serve as an active mechanism to control humanity's destiny. Now, take it even further. What if the moon is not only a failsafe, but the ultimate control switch for humanity's fate? The possibility that our entire existence could be influenced, or even decided, by a force embedded in the very object we've studied for millennia is enough to make one shudder. What if, at any given moment, the moon's hidden mechanisms could activate, rewriting our future, resetting our civilization if we become too dangerous or stray too far from what we were meant to be? In this scenario, the moon ceases to be a cold, distant rock in space. Instead, it becomes a tool of control, an enigmatic, silent guardian that has watched over us from the moment we first set foot on its surface. Its secrets may not just be waiting to be discovered, they may already be in motion, shaping our timeline in ways we could never have imagined. The true purpose of the moon is still out of reach, but one thing is certain: whatever it's hiding could change everything we know about our place in the universe. And when the time comes, it may be the moon, not humanity, that pulls the strings. The moon is far more than a lifeless satellite hanging in the sky. The alien structures, the cryptic warnings from astronauts, and the strange anomalies, these are not mere coincidences. They point to something deeper, something far more troubling. The moon is not just a passive observer, it could very well be an active architect in the shaping of humanity's existence. From ancient civilizations to modern-day mysteries, the moon's true role may be far beyond what we've ever imagined. What if the moon's strange features, And its unexplained phenomena aren't random occurrences, but part of a grander, more sinister design. What if it's been placed there to influence, to monitor, and even to control the fate of humanity? Could we be part of a plan far greater than we could possibly comprehend? The questions left behind are too important to ignore. Are we truly alone under the moon's gaze, or are we being watched, shaped, and guided by forces far beyond our understanding? Is the moon's silence a sign of indifference, or is it keeping its secrets close, waiting for the moment when they are needed most? As you reflect on these possibilities, one thing becomes clear. The moon holds more than just light in the night sky. It holds secrets. Secrets that could change the course of history and our place in the universe. The question remains, are we ready to face the truth, or are we content to let the moon continue to watch in silence?